Rod Templeton. Thank you, guys. This is Canterbury Hockey. Thanks, guys. You know the drill.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing us time to make a submission. I'm Rod Templeton, representing Canterbury Hockey, and I have Peter Cox representing our Facilities Owning Trust, and also Neil Prah from Tennis Canterbury. So what we've done is actually invited Neil to join us at the table because we think it really does represent a collective view on the aspect of the annual plan that we want to submit on, which is Ngāi Pūnawai. So what we're going to do is let myself and Peter submit on behalf of Canterbury Hockey, then pass over to Neil to put forward Tennis Canterbury's views, and then hopefully we can engage with you on questions around our collective contribution. So from Canterbury Hockey's perspective, we've got just some very simple messages in support of Ngāi Pūnawai. Basically, we can't currently accommodate the demand for our sport. We've got around 4,200 regular players plus around 2,500 summer players. We have 4 turfs. That gives us around 1,100 players per turf. The national guidelines are around 800 players per turf. So when you come around Numwick Park and our other venue, Marist Park, you'll see the lights on well late into the night, mainly because of our difficulty in accommodating training, and a lot of that involves junior teams who are having to play quite late into the night. We're also struggling to meet the demand, particularly in the growth area of our sport. We've got some very exciting strategies being developed by Hockey New Zealand that are really involved engaging with schools and bringing them into the sport. We really can't accommodate them in our current facilities. We also have an issue around our eastern clubs and schools, who all has to travel to the northwest to get to our current hockey venues. And given the city that we're looking to engage, to live in, that becomes very difficult. Another message I want to give is that the facilities we currently have are inadequate for us to host major tournaments and internationals. And particularly we see that as where the city can obtain a huge economic benefit. One of the major tournaments that the national game has is Masters, where you have 40 plus teams, all of a mature age group, looking to make a significant contribution to the accommodation and hospitality areas of Christchurch. We certainly see huge benefits in working in a hub concept. I think it's one of the positives that have resulted in the current environment is that the sports are all working together. We initially came together, I think, because of the physical demands, but we're actually following through into other areas. So certainly when we look at athletics and tennis, Canterbury Hockey see real benefits in having us in the same location. We need a commitment. The ability for us to continue to take our sport along the strategies we have really is dependent on our planned facilities. So in summary, I think from my perspective, initially from Canterbury Hockey, we need Ngāi Pūnawai. We don't have a plan B. We need stable, insurable land to put our turfs on. We see the benefit of Ngāi Pūnawai being twofold. It releases pressure on our existing turfs so we can accommodate that junior demand, but also then it gives us international standard facilities which we can then host national, international and major tournaments. So that's, I guess, our playing perspective. I'd like to do is pass over to Peter now to look from the trust, the facilities owning perspective.
Thank you and good morning. The Canterbury Artificial Surfaces Trust was established in 2000 around the building of Porritt Park, and it was established to own the artificial surfaces. It works closely with the council and with Canterbury Hockey to determine what the turf requirements are and to manage the financing and construction of them. Since the loss of the 2 water-based surfaces at Porritt, the priorities of the Trust have been firstly to establish the 2 new sand-based turfs at Nunwick Park for club hockey at a cost of $3.5 million for the 2 of them. Our other priority, of course, is to develop 2 new water-based surfaces to replace the Pirate Park for club and representative hockey. So in that regard, firstly, we fully support the Ngā Pūnawai concept. Secondly, we have $3 million in the bank available to contribute, and we're confident that we can raise any additional capital funding required. We can start immediately, and we believe that the investment that we can make will add significant value to the Council's investment in Ngā Pūnawai. The very simple messages. Thank you very much.
So from hockey's perspective, I think our summary is that we think sport, and in particular hockey, is essential for the rebuild, both in, I guess, well-being, but also in economic return. We've kept the sport growing, but we're now being limited by our facilities. We fully support the partnership approach with both the other sports and the council around Ngā Pūnawai, and as Peter said, we've got funds to bring to the table for your investment. We'll now pass over to Neil.
Kia ora, good morning, and thank you for this opportunity. My name's Neil Pryor, I'm the Chief Executive for Tennis Canterbury region, and representing Tennis Canterbury as the operational entity for tennis, and also representing the Wilding Park Foundation, which is the facilities owner for tennis in this region. I'd like to begin my comments by being very clear about Tennis Canterbury's aspirations for Ngā Pūnawai. We are very supportive and enthusiastic about this concept. Like hockey and athletics, we see this as an opportunity that presents our 3 sports to collaborate and to co-locate. There are significant benefits in such a concept, and it's evidenced by the strong collaboration between those 3 sports. It's not just a co-location opportunity, it's collaboration and partnership and community. It's not just facilities, it's an important, valuable community asset. It's an opportunity, in fact, for Christchurch to lead New Zealand with a world-class multiple sports facility. It's an addition to the community, and it's not necessarily just an earthquake replacement. It'll cater for local, regional, national and international events, and is supported strongly by Sport New Zealand and Sport Canterbury, and in fact makes up a key element of these spaces, places and people's plan. So that's our comments behind Ngā Pūnawai as a concept. In terms of tennis in particular, it is Tennis Canterbury and the Wilding Park Foundation's preferred, in fact only, greenfields opportunity. There is no plan B. We can fund the cost of our own playing facilities. We can contribute cash towards this development for the facilities aspect of it. Like our other 2 sports, we have also grown participation, and you would have heard Julian Falloon make comment about that. We have returns, in fact, exceeded beyond pre-earthquake levels of participation. That in itself provides pressures on our sport to accommodate those wishing to play it with the facilities that are required to do so. So there is a renewed pressure on us to provide those facilities to the community. If this was to be chosen, we are ready to go, but we do need some certainty and commitment from Council that it will in fact proceed, for us to continue our commitment and enthusiasm for the project. Our preference is for a tri-sport single-stage development, and we do have an internal deadline at governance level of 30 September to get some indication from Council that this can be taken to the next stage of full feasibility. So in summary, we have a strong commitment to Ngā Pūnawai and have the financial means to invest in facilities there, but we do need the confidence to retain our enthusiasm for us to continue to participate in the concept. Thank you, and I think we've got a few minutes to take some questions.
Thank you. So can I just be clear, from hockey and tennis's point of view, once council, just assume council makes the decision about Ngā Punawai, you guys can actually go ahead and put the investment in there for your facilities at least, hockey and tennis.
I'll answer first on behalf of tennis. This is our preferred greenfields option. However, we are committed to making sure that we are making the right decision, and we'll take into that decision the opinions of our wider tennis community. However, it is our preferred option. We're ready to go if we need be.
Yes, we're ready to go. There will need to be some, I mean, we can proceed as soon as we've got a bit of land, but there does need to be some infrastructure, obviously, like power and roading and what have you. Horizontal infrastructure, I believe it's termed these days.
Thank you. Just a question of perhaps both hockey and tennis. As everyone's probably well aware, the eastern suburbs have lost athletics, swimming, hockey at Porritt Park, and potentially tennis at Wilding Park as well, which is sort of quite a huge loss to the eastern suburbs. A question for tennis, I suppose. The existing facility, are there any parts of that facility that would be retained as playable tennis surfaces in the future?
Quite possibly. We have reinstated facilities there on an interim basis, so we've repaired indoor and outdoor courts. If we were to move to Ngā Punawai, I believe that those facilities could be retained for the eastern communities.
Thank you. And for hockey, you mentioned in your presentation a lack of facilities in the east. Is there any longer-term plan to reinstate surfaces in the east as well?
The difficulty is obtaining stable land that can be insured. We have engaged with some parties such as schools. The difficulty there, I guess, is their competing demands on their resources. Obviously, Porritt Park isn't recoverable. So at the moment, the focus very much is on being able to be creative around our existing facilities and with our existing game, and looking forward to Ngā Punawai as being the option.
It's exactly David's questions, but in particular, with the Wilding Park, we did invest with you in that area, and we would certainly like to make sure that it is retained at some level for that area.
Yeah, and a very good comment, Paul. Look, we're very understanding of the city's situation, east and west. So, you know, if it was possible, on a long-term basis, we'd like to see some facilities retained there. But there is a lot of decision-making that would go in behind that. But and thank you for the investment.
Thank you.